A trade back, which seems like the more likely scenario than Carolina trading up from 8. Who would that mean isn't there and available at 8? Like, what are the names that you think they're really honed in on that they would absolutely, as you said, stick and pick? And who could they go back and get, and how far?
Man, I think if they were to, I think like probably a Jalen Walker, Mykel Williams more than anything. If Torres off the board, they might decide to do that if they really wanted to improve the offense. But I think if they looking at defense and one of their top defensive guys, especially off the edge, Jalen Walker or Mykel, who Mykel's stock has been rising. People look at the way he tested, they look at his body type, they see the film is serviceable, and you feel like, okay, you know that the upside is there, because to be honest, Georgia does not really, their defensive line prospects don't really come out like pass rush ready, like truthfully. Like Trayvon Walker had to really develop with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Nolan Smith with the Eagles, they don't come out fully developed, so you banking on that upside with the Mykel Williams. I think if those guys are off the board, I think they could decide to trade down, and you look at, potentially, I know Panther fans do not want Shamar Stewart because he is a guy that's very unproven, but
let's talk about Shamar. He doesn't have the stats, right? And I can't wait to ask Dan Morgan how much he looks at college productivity when weighing a decision like this, because that's the big question, right? Like, do you think there are valid reasons why Shamar Stewart had a low sack number at Texas A&M and that the Panthers should draft him in somewhere in those teens?
Yeah, I think, when you look at that defense, Texas A&M was one of those few teams, they rotated guys at a consistent rate. And at times it's very frustrating when you're watching film, because then you're just like, okay, this guy's not on the field as much as, or he's not in the same position. So they would play him kind of interior D-line, they would play him edge. And I think for me, watching him at the Senior Bowl, the second day of practice, he stopped trying to do all the speed, the power stuff, and he wanted to win quickly, and he did. And just some numbers here on true drop back sets, he had a pass rush win rate of 22%. He had 21 hurries, 1 QB hit, and 2 sacks on true drop back passing sets. So when the quarterback has to throw, there's no play action. It's 3rd and 10, and they have to drop back and throw it. He got back there all the time for that Texas A&M defense. His upside is immense. He's got the measurables. He's got the athleticism. It's just a simple fact of he has a lot of pressures. And I always say this, pressures are just sacks that aren't converted. Now it's all about the defensive line coach. Can you get him to a point where he's converting at least maybe a third of those pressures into sacks, to where you can get 5 to 8 as a rookie and then keep kind of ballooning and going north? And I think he should be somebody that the Panther fans are just scorned from guys who aren't like ready to play, and from some of the recent picks and failed picks they've had over the last 5 to 7 years, they're a little scorned. But I would not bypass, or I wouldn't look at Shamar Stewart as a guy that just won't get it done. He has everything in his bag and in his body to do it. Just trust that your defensive line coaches, or your defensive coaches, period, will put him in those positions to do so. I think he's a guy that you could look at if you traded back into the teens to be one of those edge rushers, because, again, they have to fix that specific position. And also, for me, a guy that he's rising my board, Donovan Ezeiruaku from Boston College. 6'2", 250, 34-inch arms. Guy's explosive. He's got physical ability, the ability to convert speed to power. If you traded somewhere in the mid-teens, I'm telling you, I would not be shocked if a team wanted to take him as a top 20 pick. I know I would, because he's one of the more natural pass rushers. He's instinctive. He has a great feel for the game. He has a very nice spin counter. He knows how to set guys up vertically, and having that fastball or that bucket getter off the edge is so important in today's NFL.
Hopefully his name fits a little better than on our lower third title here, but we tried to get it up there, Damian, and we're trying to keep up with you here. We got about a minute and a half left. I want to wrap up with this. We've known Dan Morgan around here for a long time. Last year, we met Trader Dan. His first draft, he made a trade of every pick that he had. So when you look at the Panthers, they got number 8 to lead off. They've got 3 in the top 75, 2 in the 4th, 3 in the 5th, and then a 7th. What does that look like to you in terms of what Dan Morgan could do as far as maneuvering 3 Thursdays from now?
Yeah, I think, day 2, if you want to move up, and like I said, if you want to go D line at 8, right? Like if you don't trade down, you stick and pick, you get Michael, you get Jalen Walker, you get that defensive young piece for your front 7. Great. And I think on day 2, maybe you package some of those picks up, 1 or 2 of those picks, and try to move up a little higher if you start to see some of these talented wide. This is a solid wide receiver class. It's not like last year's, right? The past couple years. It's unfair to even do that to these young men. But you think about Luther Burden and Emeka Ibuka, those type of guys falling into day 2. If you want to package some of those day 2 picks, like a 3rd and with a 5th, and try to move up and go get a guy like Luther Burden, go get a guy like Emeka Ibuka, or if you really feel like, hey, Isaiah Bond would be great with Bryce. They were teammates during Bryce's final year at Alabama. Maybe see if you can rekindle some of the things that they had going on in practice. Great, because he brings that speed that nobody else on the team or on that offense has. I think that could be a situation. But also look out for the running back position, right? Jonathan Brooks tearing another ACL after coming off a torn ACL. That's a hard blow to recover from. 2 ACL tears in this loaded running back class. I think that they can go get themselves a guy that can complement Chuba Hubbard very well, a guy that can catch the ball in the backfield. Brashard Smith from SMU, maybe Trevor Etienne, on day 3 out of Georgia, guy that can run routes, catch the ball out of the backfield, be that sub, that 3rd down guy. He's pretty solid in pass protection at times. I think that they can go a bevy of ways, a myriad of ways in this draft after going potentially defense, in the first round, and just trying to add some more pieces, some more explosive. I think that's the thing I'm looking forward to seeing how Dan Morgan maneuvers. Does he get explosive offensively? I think they should.